Emily here to do a reformer routine with you today. We'll be working on side body. Today we'll be doing side obliques on the short backs and standing side legs. Let's go ahead and begin with footwork. I have 3 to 4 springs on. I'm going to come lying on my side, on my back. I'm going to rest my feet comfortably on the foot bar real fast. Check in with my body. I have a heavy sacrum. My hips are on and my tailbone forming a triangle. I'm going to place my hand in a diamond shape, placing my fingertips above my pelvis, the heels of my hands on my hips, and my thumbs right below my belly button. I'm going to take an inhale. I'm going to exhale, actively pulling my belly button or my lower abdominals in towards my spine. One more. I feel like I have a good stable sacrum. I'm going to go ahead and check in with my low back between my sacrum and my ribs. There should be a slight lift or curve there. All 12 ribs are on. My shoulder blades are flat on the mat. I have a nice, soft, wide collarbone. My shoulders aren't rounding in. And if they are, take your arms out to the side while we check in on the rest of our body. While you're doing this, if your arms are to the side, go ahead and check in with your ribs. Did your lower ribs float off the mat? And did your ribs in the front flare? We're going to go ahead and inhale. Our fingertips on the sides of our ribs. Exhale, drawing our fingers towards each other to lace in between our ribs. Feel how strong the connection is to your ribs right now. Don't imprint your lower spine or sink into the curve in your low back onto the mat, but feel the wrap of the muscles around your ribs. You're still drawing in on your lower abdominals, your sacrum's flat, and your ribs are still on. You should have a long, loose neck. From there, we're going to float our feet up, come into a Pilates here with our heels together, our toes apart. Place our toes on the foot bar, squeezing our heels together strongly, turning our femur bone out in our hip socket, tracking our knees over our toes for the whole exercise. We're going to press out on the inhale and exhale to float the carriage back into the bumper. Inhale and exhale. When you get to the top, squeeze everything together, inner thighs, ribs, lower abdominals, drawing it towards the midline, controlling the carriage the entire way out and the entire way in. The springs do not control you. You are controlling the springs. And inhale. Exhale. 2 more. If you feel that your shoulders are still rounding, take your palms, just float them up to the ceiling. And see if that helps to facilitate an openness in the front of your chest and sternum. I'm going to take my feet, parallel them, squeezing my legs together, drawing my toes back strongly towards my knees. I'm going to plant my heels on the foot bar. I'm squeezing my legs together here, inner thighs and everything, drawing towards the midline. I'm going to press out, tweezing my seat at the top without turning my feet out, and turn it and pull the carriage back in. I'm going to wrap the muscle from around my knee from the inside of my knee around to my hip. Wrap that muscle, come back in. Wrap the front of the thigh muscle. And in. Inhale, squeezing your tush. Exhale. Check on your neutral spine. Make sure your ribs are on. You're not flaring your ribs. And the lifts in your low back. 8, 9, and 10. Come into the bumper. Go ahead and point and flex your feet a little bit to release the front of the shin. I'm going to take my heels wide to the outsides of the foot bar. I'm going to draw my knees, my toes back so they're my big toes tracking over my knee again. I'm rotating my femur in the hip socket. I'm not allowing my legs to fall open so I don't have any support in my inner thighs. If I place my hands on the insides of my knees, I should still feel pressure from the insides of my knees pulling forward. I should be able to just push my knees out. Should be resistance there. So, pulling my knees back. I'm going to inhale on the way out. I'm still squeezing everything towards the midline, even though my heels are separated. I should feel strong pull in my upper, inner thigh, my glutes, and resist back in. Inhale. Come sink into your low back. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. From there, I'm going to release my heels off of the footwork, float my feet up to tabletop position, place my ball of my feet on the footbar in a forced arch or demi-point position where my heels are lifted up. It's as if you're wearing a very high heel. I'm going to squeeze my legs together, everything drawing towards the midline again. I'm going to inhale on the way out and exhale in. Squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to press out and release your hip flexors to come back in. And out and drop your belly to your spine. 5, 6. Squeeze your legs on the way out and squeeze your legs on the way in. Don't drop your low back into the mat. One more. Pull back in. Now press out. Drop your left heel under the foot bar and bend your right knee over the foot bar. Now lift. Straighten both legs so the heels meet. When both heels meet at the top and your legs are completely straight, drop your right heel, bending your left knee over the foot bar. Lift out from your lower abdominals. When both heels meet, drop your left heel and pull up through the midline and drop your right and pull and left and pull and right and left. Speed it up slightly. If you feel your hips starting to rock, go ahead and change the speed, slow it down a little bit so that you can maintain the stability of your pelvis, your sacrum, your ribs, your neutral spine while continuing the exercise and working on stability. Here's 9 and 10. Lift up. Now we're going to drop our heels under the foot bar together. With our heels staying dropped, we're going to bend our knees over the foot bar, leaving our heels under the foot bar as much as we can. I know it doesn't look like much, right? Now raise your heels when the carriage is at the bumper and press out. Drop your heels and bend your knees, come in. Forced arch and press. Lower your heels, bend your knees. 2 more. Up and down. It's a water wheel of sorts with our ankles and feet and our footwork. Now we're going to reverse. It's like bird on a perch, the footwork position. We're going to press our legs straight, pushing our heels under the foot bar at the same time. Now we're going to rise up into a forced arch position and bend our knees over the foot bar. Press out, dropping your heels. Come up and bend your knees. And press and lift. Come in. 2 more. 1 more. And go ahead. Come up to sitting. I'm going to change my springs over. I'm going to be using the same springs for supine arms, curl-ups, and hundreds. Then we'll be moving in to feet and straps. I do have 2 springs on for this. It is a medium spring and a light spring. I'm going to come down to line, reach back, find my handles. Go ahead and check out your handles. Make sure that they're even. Arms to the ceiling. Spiral up slightly to your pinky blade edge so you can feel a connection in your underarm and down your ribs. Make sure that's your lats. Make sure that you're maintaining your neutral spine. You're squeezing your legs together strongly, tabletop. Inhale. Exhale to draw your hands down to your hip. Oh, I'm sorry. Supine arms. Draw your hands down to your hips, leaving your head on the mat. And raise your arms back over the ceiling. And exhale to lower and lift. 1 more. And lift. Bring your arms out to a V, no wider than the width of your reformer. Again, more tension in your pinky blade edge. We're going to draw our pinky blade edge to our hips first. It's as if we'll be doing that. Inhale. Exhale, draw your hands down and lift. Try not to break your wrists. 1 more. And lift. bring your arms out to a T, hover slightly off the mat, and exhale, drawing your hands to your hips. Again, there should be more tension or pressure in your pinky blade edge. After this last one, we're going to do the same series, movement again, parallel arms, arms in a V, and arms in a T. You might want to shimmy away from the shoulder blocks slightly if you're pressed into them. And we'll make curling up over your sternum, the bottom of your sternum where your 12th rib meets your sternum. We'll make it a little bit easier. Inhale, exhale to curl up, long loose neck, space under your chin as if you're holding a piece of fruit, an apple or an orange there. Inhale back down, and exhale to curl up. Inhale down, exhale to your belly to your spine, and curl down. Arms to the V, and exhale, and lower with control, and exhale, and lower, one more, and lower. Arms to the T, exhale and lift, and don't crunch your neck, and one more. Bring your arms right up to parallel to the ceiling, inhale to prayer, exhale to curl up, extending your legs to working level. We're going to begin pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Curl up deeper over your sternum. Check on your low back. Make sure it's not imprinting into the mat. Squeeze your inner thighs together. If you're in a Pilates V, squeeze your heels. If you are in a parallel position, squeeze your inner thighs even more strongly. Wherever you are, tweeze your seat. Reach with energy through your fingertips towards the foot bar. Pump vigorously, but try not to move the carriage too much. 2 more. Shake out your neck. Stop there. Curl a little deeper over your sternum. Draw your knees into tabletop. Flow your arms up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Bring your feet down to the foot bar with control and peg your straps. Come up to sitting. We're going to change our spring for footworks. I use 2 heavy springs for feet and straps. Sorry, feet and straps. I have my handles on. I'm going to change over my feet straps. I'm going to come back down the line. I'm going to press up with my left foot, reach back for my right foot strap, place my right foot in, straighten my leg, reach back for my left strap, place my foot in, connect my heels, draw my knees into a front position. My feet are flexed, my heels are together, my toes are apart in Pilates V. I have a neutral spine, but my knees are wide, drawing in to a tight little frog. I'm going to platform my arms by my side, check out my ribs, long loose neck, open collarbone area, soft sternum. Press out on the inhale, squeezing everything towards the midline, and exhale, back to the frog position. Inhale, and exhale. Make sure your sternum or your tailbone isn't rocking towards the mat as you push out and pulling back. When you come back, if that's the case, raise your feet slightly so that you're pushing out at a higher angle on your frog. 2 more. And final one, squeeze and pull. Bring your feet up to the ceiling. Your feet aren't flexed anymore. They're not necessarily pointed, but there's a gentle sort of point of the foot. So I'm going to take my legs from here. I'm going to put them into a diamond shape. In the diamond shape, you're not in tabletop, and your legs aren't extended completely. It's right in the middle. Squeeze your heels strongly to encourage engagement in your inner thighs. Tweeze your seat. We're going to inhale, exhale, draw our feet down to working level with our hamstrings and glutes, and float our legs back up to the ceiling, maintaining a neutral spine the whole time. And exhale, and lift. Our legs are moving independently of our body, but see if you can push the movement from your lower abdominals and exhale to draw your legs down with your glutes and hamstrings and lift. When you get to the bottom of the movement, see if you can wrap your ribs even tighter. Here's 7. If you're not feeling it in your hip muscles, in your turnout muscles, inner thighs, try adjusting your diamond shape so that you can feel it strongly in around the whole turnout. And lift. Draw your legs back down to working level, leaving them in the diamond shape. We're going to open and close our legs like a book. So we're going to close our legs, squeezing everything to parallel. Then we're going to open our legs back out to the diamond shape. If this does not feel as difficult as you would like, try bending or straightening your legs or adjusting the height of your legs a little bit to see if you can get the connection that you're really looking for. You should feel it strongly around your hip and femur connection and in your lower abdominals. 2 more. 1 more. And open. Squeeze your legs straight, flip them up to the ceiling. We're going to do circles that are the width of the reformer. We're going to open our legs to the side, squeeze them down with our glutes and hamstrings. Squeeze our legs together at the bottom with our inner thighs and float the legs back up to the ceiling. Open, pull down with your glutes and hamstrings. Squeeze your legs together and float them back up. Inhale your legs down. Exhale them back up. 2 more. From here, we're going to squeeze our glutes and hamstrings to reverse the circle to bring our legs down to working level. Separate our legs to the width of the reformer. Float them back into the ceiling and squeeze your legs together with our inner thighs. Pull your legs down with your glutes and hamstrings. Separate your legs. Float them up to the ceiling and squeezing up your inner thighs. Inhale your legs down through the center and exhale back up to the top. 2 more. From here, we're going to come back down into the frog position. I'm going to remove my left foot first, bringing my foot to find the foot bar carefully. Peg my left strap, press out, pull my right foot out, find the foot bar, and bend my knees to control the carriage coming back to the bumper. From there, I'm going to come up off to the side. I'm going to change my springs to one heavy spring. I'm going to go ahead and change my foot straps back over to my handles real fast before we move on. I'm going to get my box and one of my sticky mats. I have 2 for today's exercises. Place my long box in the center. I'm going to place my sticky mat in the center of my box. From there, I'm going to get on to my carriage for swan. I'm going to place one hand, the other hand. I'm going to swing one leg up onto the box and then the other. The front edge of the box is right under where my sternum and my 12th rib meet, or for ladies, bra strap. I'm squeezing my legs together strongly. I'm drawing my belly button up and in to lift it up off the box. I'm wrapping my ribs and I'm trying to maintain a neutral spine while I am looking down with my nose touches my foot bar. Yours might not. I'm spiraling out to my pinky blade edge so that I have more weight in my pinky blade edge. When I can feel it underneath my arm and down my ribs and my lats, I'm going to press out on 1. I'm going to pull up on 2. As long as my shoulders don't come up to my ears, you can pull up as high as you can. Push back on 3 and come over on 4. I'm going to inhale and exhale on 2. Inhale on 3 and exhale on 4. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Tweeze your seat. My elbows are wide when I come back in and when I push out. I'm going to stop on this one. I'm going to bring one foot off to the side of the former, my other foot off, one hand, the other hand. I'm going to remove my sticky mat, and I'm going to change my spring tension. For my arm arm series facing back, sitting on the box. I'm using one medium spring. Very carefully, I'm going to come onto the box. I'm sitting on the box so that my shoulders are over my hips and my knees are over my ankles. Drawing my belly button up, or my abdominals up and in. I'm bringing my ribs together. My shoulder blades are down my back. My shoulders are down. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to pick up my handles. I'm going to flip my palms towards the ceiling. My thumbs are wrapped around the handle one way, my fingers are wrapped around the other. I'll have my arms up here, and I don't have my arms down here. My arms are coming out of my shoulders. I'm going to do bicep curls, bringing my hands to my shoulders and releasing forward. See how much of this movement can come from your abdominals. You might lose some slack in your ropes. Here's 6. If you find yourself leaning back and then pulling, you're cheating. This movement should be coming from your lower abdominals, lifting up out of your head. If you can't bend your arms all the way, bend to where you can. Or lighten the spring tension to your lower spring. And 10. From there, I'm going to flip my palms down to the floor. We're going to do rowing. I'm going to pull back, squeezing my shoulder blades slightly. My handles are coming right to under my arm. They're not coming up to my shoulder. I'm not bending my wrists down. They're coming to my underarm. I'm maintaining a straight wrist. I'm floating my arms back out. And pull. Squeeze my legs. And release. Don't flare your ribs. Your abdominals should still be up and in. You shouldn't be tucking or tilting your pelvis. Maintaining a neutral spine while sitting. You may see some slack in your ropes. Go ahead and engage your lats first and then pull. Engage your lats and then pull. Now leaving your arms straight in front of you, we're going to do rowing one way, one-sided rowing with a twist alternating. So I'm going to engage my lats on the right side. I'm going to pull back, twisting from my belly button up, looking over to my right side. I'm going to release. I'm going to engage my lats and twist. Pulling back from the belly button up. I'm twisting from the belly button up. Everything from the belly button below is staying stable. My hips are not shifting. My heels are not shifting. Again, I'm pulling to my underarm. Do not lean back to begin the movement. And forward. Two more to each side. One more to each side. And come forward. Bring your biceps, squeezing them into your ribs. Bend forward at the hips, coming out on a diagonal. Bringing your arms up towards your shoulders. Don't sink in your stomach. Pooh Bear at the front. Don't flare your ribs. Draw your shoulders down your back and press back in a tricep press. Squeeze your triceps at the top and pull back. Fingers should be wrapped around the handle the entire time. If you feel your carriage jumping, use less momentum and more control. 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Come up to sitting. Bring the carriage into the bumper with control. Taking your straps in one hand, your handles in one hand. Reach down. I'm changing to a lighter spring, one lighter spring. I'm going to come around to face the front of the reformer, making sure that my straps are twisted. Again, my shoulders are over my hips, my knees are over my ankles. I'm going to bring my hands into my natural waist with my palms facing up. I'm going to press out to where my sternum and my 12th rib meet where we had the front edge of the box for swan, I'm going to pull back into my natural waist and press out. Dropping my lower back, drawing my lower back to my spine, and in, and press. And inhale. I've heard this, serving the brownies, serving the turkey, serving the platter. Just press low. Here's 9. Squeeze your blades slightly back. And 10. From here, I'm going to bring my arms rounded to the sides, still in my periphery. I'm going to inhale my fingers to tap together in front of where my sternum and 12th rib meet so they're not creeping up. My shoulders are and open to the beginning position in my periphery. And inhale. 3, 4. On this last one, pause when you reopen your arms. Inhale with your arms open. Exhale to switch the breath pattern and to tap your fingers in front of where your sternum and 12th rib meet and open your arms to the side. And exhale and inhale. 3 and 4 and 5. From there, I'm going to bring my fingertips so they're touching in center. My middle fingers are touching in center. I'm going to lean forward on a diagonal as if my body is between 2 panes of glass. My fingertips are in the middle of my forehead. I'm leaning forward. We're doing a modified salute position where we just straighten at our elbows and bend at our elbows. We're reaching for where the wall and the ceiling meet. Our shoulders are down our back. More pressure on the pinky blade edge if you're having trouble maintaining that. The ropes may be rubbing the tops of your arms. 3 more. And 10. From there, I'm going to release my arms, bringing them in front of my body slightly for arm circles. I'm going to inhale my arms up through the center, slightly above my shoulders, bring them around the outside, and exhale them in my periphery, bringing them down in front of my hips. Inhale through the center, and exhale in the periphery. Make sure that you're not drawing your arms behind you or letting the springs take your arms back. It is bad for your shoulders if you're not used to it. Draw your abdominals up and in, and bring your ribs together. And now reverse. Inhale down to the outside, and exhale down through the center. Inhale. 3 more. Feel let your shoulders round in. And 4. And 1 more. Here's 5. Carefully bring the carriage to the bumper. Repay your handles. Come off to the side. Set up for short box. Place 4 to 5 springs on. Set up your reformer for however you like to. Put the foot bar down. And check on your safety strap. Make sure it's well connected. You're not going to fall back into the well. I'm going to come up carefully to sit on my box. Place my feet under the safety strap. Make sure that I have a hand's width between my tailbone and the back edge of my box. Squeeze my legs together. Draw my abdominals up and in. Squeeze my seat for lift. Draw my ribs down. Shoulders down. I'm going to connect my hands in the center, pulling them towards my belly button. I'm going to round over from my sternum and not in with my shoulders. I'm going to round forward. I'm going to inhale. Exhale to pull back with a round back. I'm going to inhale here. And exhale to pull back forward with a round back. Inhale. Exhale, dropping my belly and my spine, pulling back with control until I start to feel the shape. Inhale. Exhale, go forward. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale forward. Final one. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale forward. From here, we're going to raise our arms up by our ears, but not behind our ears. Ribs down, abdominals up and in. We're going to flat back as if we were stuck between two panes of glass or a panini press. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, lift myself back up. Inhale. Exhale, leaning back. Inhale. Exhale to lean forward. Inhale. Exhale to lean back as if I were between two panes of glass. Pause at the shake on the inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale forward. Final one. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale forward. From here, I'm going to lower my left hand to the corner of the box. I'm going to bend my elbow into my left hip. Reaching up, pressing up, my shoulders down my back. Reaching for where the ceiling meets the wall, lifting out of both sides. Straighten my elbow. Squeeze my obliques on the right side to sit up. Lower my right hand to the corner of the box. Bending my elbow in towards my hip. Pressing into the corner of the box. Reaching for the wall and the ceiling meet. Straighten my elbow. Squeeze my obliques to sit up the rest of the way. Raise my other arm to meet my right arm to meet my left arm. Lower my left arm and reach. Straighten my left arm and reach up. Lower my right arm and the elbow. Straighten my right arm and reach up. For those of you that would like a challenge, for the final two, we'll do it without any support. I'm going to reach without rocking on my hips to the left. Just squeeze my obliques, squeezing my abdominals, come back up through the center. I'm sliding between two panes of glass, slide in between two panes of glass. And up. Go ahead and release your legs. And shake them out real fast. We're going to go ahead, place my right foot on the carriage, take my left knee, bend it to cross above my right ankle on my low calf, across my right foot. I'm going to bring my arms around to the back corners of the box, sitting straight up. I'm going to lean forward with a flat back on a diagonal for a hip stretch. From there, I'm going to float my arms back to the front, release my left leg, place my left foot on the carriage, bend my right knee, crossing at above my right ankle over my left knee. I'm going to float my hands around without flaring my ribs, find the corners of the box, and lean forward on a diagonal. I'm going to float my hands back forward and release. And we're going to begin on our side work now. So, go ahead, give your safety strap another tug, just to double check. I'm going to begin on my left hip, facing the left side of my reformer, with my left shin parallel to the short side of my box. Give my strap a yank. I'm going to come out on an angle so that from the top of my head down to my foot under the foot strap is one diagonal line. I'm going to place my hands behind my head and I'm going to do rib shifts. Draw my abdominals up and in, bring my ribs together. I'm going to shift up and down with just my ribs. Up and down. Up. It's a small movement. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From there, I'm going to open my arms to a T. I'm going to reach down, trying to tap my fingertips to touch the floor in the well. I'm going to come back up to my starting diagonal position and tap and lift. Abs to spine. Make sure you're maintaining your diagonal and that your foot isn't behind you in the strap. It should be slightly in front of your periphery or right in line. put your hand or your elbow onto your headrest and lean over into the well. If you have the flexibility, feel free to place your hand on the floor. From there, without using momentum, bring your arm up to a T and squeeze your body up on the side. Bring your right hand across your knee with your palm facing up and reach over for a modified mermaid stretch. From there, we're going to come back up, place our hands behind our head with our thumbs long down our neck. Don't allow your hands to crunch your chin into your chest. Press your head into your hands as your hands press into your head. Find the strap, make sure you have tension, come down to a side angle. Now we're going to crunch our top elbow towards the foot bar and release back down to the diagonal, and 2. You'll know if you're using momentum on this because your foot will be swinging wildly in the strap. If that's the case, make the movement smaller. Abdominals up and in. 8, 9, and 10. One more. Hands over your head. Reach your palms together. Touch them in the center and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulses at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more stretch. Hand on your headrest. Elbow on your headrest. Reaching in to your well. And side bend over. Couple deep breaths. Bring your arm up to a T. Good. Crunch up to the side. Again, right hand, palm facing up on your knee, reaching across. Go ahead and come to the center carefully. Place your left foot under the foot strap. Release your right foot and turn your body to the right side of the reformer. Again, I am on my right hip, while opposite, my right shin is parallel with the short end of my box. My leg is right in line with my side or a little bit in front of my periphery. I'm going to come down so that my body is at a diagonal from my head all the way down to my foot under the foot strap. I'm going to place my head in my hands and I'm going to do rib shifts. 1, 2, 3, down and up, down and up, down and up. 8, 9, and 10. Arms out to a T. Dip down, reaching your fingertips towards the floor in the well, and come back up to the diagonal. Abs up and in. Ribs together. Long neck. Here's 4. Inhale and exhale. 7. 3 more. 8, 9. Before you go for the stretch, make sure you finish the exercise. Now bring your hand to the headrest, your elbow to the headrest, or if you have the flexibility, or if your form is short enough, bring your hand into the well, reaching for the floor, and reaching arm over. Go ahead and bring your arm up to a T. Come up without swinging yourself up with momentum. Reach your left hand across your right knee with the palm up to the ceiling. Reach your right hand up and over. 2 more exercises on the side of legs. Coming back out to the diagonal with my head in my hands. Don't let your hands crunch your chin to your chest again. I'm going to crunch up, reaching my elbow towards the foot bar, and come back down. My ribs are knit, or my vest of support is strong. It's as if I'm wearing a corset. My abdominals are up and in, and I'm not swinging my foot wildly in the foot strap using momentum. 3 more. 9 and 10. Reach your hands over your head. Bring your hands together center. Pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, finish, 4, 3, 2, final 1. Hand to the headrest, elbow to the headrest, or hand in the well, and reach over for a side bend. Bring your arm up to a T, oblique side crunch, to come up to sitting, stretch over to the other side, with your left hand atop your knee. Taking a deep breath. Come back up to sitting, come through the center. We're going to be doing some standing side controls. So, carefully stepping off my box, putting my safety strap away, bringing my box off to the side. I'm going to bring my carriage back to where it was before. From here, I'm going to take one of the sticky mats and place it in this near the edge, front edge of my carriage. I'm going to take my other sticky mat, place it on my standing platform to support my foot there. If you are unable to get on or off the carriage without holding on, please do not do these exercises at home alone. So I have 2 springs on, and 1 medium and a light. I'm going to step up onto the standing platform, not the carriage, with my right foot first. From there, I'm going to step up and place my left foot on the carriage near the edge. I'm going to make sure that my spine is neutral, my pelvis is neither tucked nor tilted. I'm going to bend my knees and hinge forward at the hips, coming on a diagonal, bring my ribs in, my abdominals up and in. And place my hands in a diamond shape at the base of my spine. I'm going to press out with my left foot and pull it back in, and press and pull. I'm not popping my leg, I'm controlling the carriage. I'm using my body weight. 8, 9, and 10. Bring the carriage all the way in. And now using my right leg or my standing platform leg, I'm going to straighten that leg and bend it in. And straighten and bend. Here's 3 and 4. Here's 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Keep your body still. And 10. Come back in. Stand straight up. Bring your arms out to a T. With both legs, press out. Pull back up through the center, squeezing your inner thighs, and press out. And pull in. Arms in a T, pressing down as if you're pressing down on a pull. Make sure you're not tucking or tilting your pelvis. Halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, squeezing the outside glutes, and 10. From there, I'm going to release my foot off the carriage. Try not to pull my sticky mat. Step behind, find the floor of my foot, and release my foot off the standing platform. I'm going to fix my sticky mats. I'm going to walk around to the other side. From here, I'm going to be stepping up onto the carriage with my left, or not onto the carriage, I'm sorry, onto the standing platform with my left foot first. I'm going to press off my standing foot on the floor into my carriage, or my standing platform foot. I'm going to step right next to the edge of the carriage with my right foot. From there, I'm going to place my hands in the diamond shape at the base of my spine, bend my knees, hinge my body forward, bring my ribs here, draw my abdominals up and in, press out with my right foot, and pull it back in, and chill. Don't pop your knee. 3, 4, the carriage all the way in. And now with my left foot on the standing platform, I'm going to straighten that knee and bend and chew and exhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 7 and 8. Here's 9 and 10. I'm going to stand up, straighten my legs, bring my arms out to T, making sure that my pelvis is neutral. I'm not tucking or tilting back. I'm going to press out and float the carriage back in with control. And chill. Here's 3. Abdominals up and in. Ribs coming together. Here's 7 and 8. Here's 9 and 10. When the carriage is all the way into bumper, I'm going to pick my right foot up, step behind reformer to the floor, and bring my left foot off of the standing platform. For safety purposes, go ahead and place your sticky mat in the middle of your reformer. I'm going to drop one spring, so I only have one leg spring out. From there, I'm going to step up onto the standing platform with my right foot. Bring my left foot onto the carriage and walking it out to the middle. Careful, the spring tension is lighter. Bring my arms to T, make sure my pelvis is neutral. I'm going to press out and pull back in by squeezing my inner thighs. And press out. Try not to let the springs pull you back in. Try to use your inner thighs to do that. Enjoy the stretch. When you stretch out so far, you feel your pelvis start to tilt backwards. Try to fix your pelvis. If that doesn't work, don't go out so far. And pull in, shoulders down your back, ribs together. Tweezing your seat. 3 more. Here's 9. And 1 more. Here is 10. Bring the carriage all the way into the bumper. Walk your foot back in. Pull your foot up off the carriage. Reach back to the floor. Bring your standing platform foot off into the ground. So we're going to go ahead, fix our sticky mats on this side as well. Because as you guessed it, we're going over to the other side. I'm going to place my left foot up on the standing platform. From there, I'm going to push off with my right foot on the floor, bringing my foot onto the carriage on the inside edge. Walk my foot out to the middle, staying mindful that this carriage is lighter. Make sure that my pelvis is in neutral, my arms are in a T. I'm going to press out and pull in by squeezing my inner thighs together. Press out, keeping my pelvis in neutral the whole time. It's as if there's a basin of water in my pelvis, and when I keep it neutral, all my water stays in the pitcher. But if I tilt my tailbone to the back, water spills out the front. And if I tuck my tailbone, water spills out the front or out the back. Go ahead and make sure that your pelvis is neutral. Your water's spilling. So you just want to make sure that your pelvis is neutral. 2 more. And pull in. And 1 more. And pull in. Walk your foot back in to the edge. Peel your carriage foot off. Step back behind you with control. And then bring your foot off the standing platform. If you feel that you do not have complete control stepping on or off the carriage, please do not do this series of exercises at home without supervision. From there, we are going to bring our foot bar back up. We're going to finish the lesson today with mermaid. I'm going to place one heavy spring on. When it comes sitting, I will be utilizing classical mermaid legs where both of my shins are pressed against the shoulder blocks. If this is painful or uncomfortable for your knees or lower back, go ahead and place your lower leg with the shin parallel to the side of the reformer. And if this is still uncomfortable for you, please crisscross applesauce. But when you go to the other side, flip the switch of your legs so you're working from the other side, the other front leg in front on the other side. So I'm going to come in, like I said, to the classical leg position. My legs are stacked, my shins are pushed against the shoulder block. My hand is slightly in front of me, in my periphery, on the foot bar. My shoulders down my back, ribs are down, abs in. I'm going to press out, leaning over the foot bar. I bend my elbow to float my body back up, reaching over into the well, reminiscent of the stretch between the oblique series. I'm going to press out again. Ribs still up, in, belly still up and in. Bend my elbow and float back up. On this next one, we're going to do a little add-on. Bring back up, hand on the foot bar. And I'm going to reach over. From here, I'm going to rotate the upper body leg in the springs and rotate back to the side. And rotate down and up. And one more. And to the side. Bending my elbow, floating my body up. And bending over into the wall. I'm going to come up. I'm going to carefully get off the reformer. Go to the other side. Again, you can do classical leg position where both shins are stacked, pressing against the shoulder block. The figure 4 position with the back leg, shin pushing against the shoulder blocks with the bottom leg, shin parallel to the side of the reformer, or crisscross applesauce if you change the flip of your leg from the other side. Again, I am in classical mermaid position. My hands slightly in front of my periphery. I'm going to press out, reaching for over my foot bar. My shoulders down. I'm going to bend my elbow to float my body up and reach into the well. I'm going to come back to sitting, place my hand on the foot bar, and reach out across my foot bar, trying not to bend at my wrist too severely. Trying to keep my wrist as straight as possible so I don't agitate any wrist issues that I may or may not have. On this one, we are going to add on, pressing out, reaching over the foot bar, rotating down to look at the springs, slight twist, coming back to the center. We're twisting from our belly button and above, and back to the side, and one more. And back to the side. Bend your elbow, float your body up, and bend into the well. And that will complete class today. Please step carefully off of the reformer to finish mermaid. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.